Good evening from Portland, Oregon. My name is Jake Sheff. It's a pleasure and real honor to be here at the LitBalm poetry reading tonight. A lot of extremely talented writers have participated in the past, and several heroes of mine in poetry have as well. So really excited to be here, and it's an honor to do so during the SurVision poetry readings. So just want to say thank you, and without further ado, I'll start reading my poetry. The first one I'm going to start with is a prose poem that was originally published in the Prose Poem Project. This poem is called The Inherited and the Earned. A black cloud dominates this black field. The land was my father's. He walked into it and stood in the middle till the wind eroded him away. Now it's mine. Here on my front porch, the wind knows where I stand. From here I watch tornadoes without fear, without remorse. I'd run out there and dig till my hands hit my father's face if I needed more. If a room or box was left behind locked and he had a key in his pocket, I'd dig. If he held in his fist a last letter intended to be delivered or not, I'd dig. But inside, my wife sleeps. Some nights moonlight breaks through to the field and we are awakened by crying. We check the baby, always sound asleep. But she takes him up in her arms still, touching his lips to the milk on her breast. This next poem was originally published in the journal Levitate, and this one is called Men Preparing the Interior of a Public Dream in Armor with a Page. If Florence calls from Florence, aching rain will fall inside. Rambunctious woodwinds pounced on endless entrances. They're pouring pain on them like money-grubbing hippies. Pounded for getting lost, the page pulls out a Pop-Tart. A waterfall psychology and dream of drying up will decorate the top part where teeth are floating in its mouth. Go dream that too has a use, forgetting we are watching like a weird moon. Heaven's fireproof safe is here. The men are sillily on guard with forceps. Time is cleverer in here too. Takes 4 sips of reproducing recalcitrants. The past is peachier than peaches here, the public sings. Now you sing. This next poem originally was published in Red Coyote. It's a 2-part poem. It's got the poem, which is called A Private Son, and then reader's comments. A private son. What is going on behind the sun when all the people here mistake regret for crisis? Inebriated thorny men and wishy-washy monitors. Prolific, they shout into the sunny ear of God, promiscuous itself while soldiering through France, America, and Mars. The sun that took up arms was by no means against the Oort cloud, but would you have me a castrato was, for all intents and purposes, never answered. And now the mangroves prove that death is the premier mortician. Hitherto, the fakery of bobolinks was adequate, at least for tomboy sunlight and the oven domicile of bakers. The land was canalized by naughty rays, that much is certain, but nobody expected the sun to rise and aim its gun at daddy's roses, not a generalist among them. I guess the moral is, our son belongs in jail, our jilted son in gelatin, and gone. Reader's comments. Jeff from Oklahoma says, that pruny son is nothing but agitprop, uncouth. I'd like to judo flip it, but Netflix. Little Ann from Tyrus says, humility would do that son some good, or maybe reimbursing me for all the men I've lost. A whippoorwill from Autumn's Cleavage says, I knew the son a priori. He was a nice guy before he hit it big. The son's response, You try and troubleshoot a frenzy while improvising a blue anthill's plumbing and not repine. This next poem originally came out in Brushfire, and this poem is written in sapphic stanzas. It's called Human Nature's Telegram to Russian Bots, and I opened this poem with 2 epigrams. For legends attract the very best in our times, just as ideologies attract the average, and the whispered tales of gruesome secret powers behind the scenes attract the very worst. Hannah Arendt, The Origins of Totalitarianism. He was ruled by those he ruled, putting favorites first, he lost favor. Louis Vasque Camosh, The Lusiads. Apologies if I butchered the Portuguese pronunciation. Dying of exposure, just like a finished product, pie is changing its value, sir. Stop. Pain and difficulty are quiet people. How can that be, sir? Stop. I-thou relations with hypospadias correspond to music and treason, sir. Stop. You know everything, sir. Stop. Future novel titles and memories are at home in dreams, but profound creation craves destructive sadness, sir. Stop. The purple ocean spray gets richer, according to my sources, sir. Stop. Voices, furniture, when you sing, they come to life, sir. Stop. Your lips are my hospital. Their words are more like daggers than scalpels, sir. Stop. Weather permitting, ridicule means laughing like bullets. Flannel hills and heads too full of paintbrushes, sir. Stop. Fears had one too many sex-crazed tertulias, almost subjective to the point of madness, sir. Stop. This piss test is a puff piece, sir. Stop. You heard it here first. Man's ambition, waltzing Matilda on crop circles in fields of mental oats, sir. Stop. Your permissions, purple skies, and prejudice are slow going, sir. Stop. Faith is non-binary and sentences by Henry James, sir. Stop. The next poem originally came out in the ecology issue of Qwerty. This poem is called The Snow Line in Devil's Punch Bowl. It also starts with a short epigram. Winter's not just any old albino tyrant, by an anonymous soldier. These white furs know their audience, above the town of Pear Blossom, where the rattlesnakes keep a low profile. The rattlesnakes keep their cold snap a secret, but winter storms deliver winter's jail from peaks to Coulter pines. These white furs know their audience's unresolved disputes with narcissism. The Joshua trees move like old men with bursitis. The chasm down below drinks the snow line, floats atop a flame like a white water lily. Exaggerating illness for attention, birds bribe death to leave with strangely repetitious wishes. These white furs know the house I keep my heart in, duly note my beard of vicious dreams. Willows spread the word, the trace amount of sufferings in the wind. 2 bighorn sheep go down the chasm slope to drink from winter's missing persons bureau, time's artistic temperament. A network of arteries and veins grows into thin air, like invisible lines of insects deserting love. These white furs watch the tomb of narcissism creep into a squirrel. Lastly, I'd like to read a poem of mine from this excellent anthology. I'm sure other poets have read from it. The Contemporary, Tangential, Surrealist Poetry and Anthology, edited by Tony Kitt. This one is a rhyme squared. It's a form I invented several years ago, where it's 2 stanzas and the 2 rhymes, or the two stanzas essentially word for word rhyme. They're almost like a sonic mirror image of each other. Why tamper with the spectral spoil? The string was hung above the ground, 31 inches long and 31 inches high, below the compost pile, and under that, a primum non nocere agreement between the celibate intensity and verruciform bantam network. My skin like microfiche, this property anathema to lithium, Athena, random miracles. The 7 ones and 7 zeros ran above, retaliation's form of libel. The postal industries, falsetto trait in mime. The ground's gung-ho astringent, like a 13, cinches the quotidian by its 1 in 30 piles of shortened curlies. In under, nociceptors, agriculture's double-ply phenomena, in tandem with celebrity intestines, the skein of net worth cruciform. The micro-cliche improperly ties Lythrum to the enemy, the anthem in the killer mirror's ransom. The 7 ones and 7 zeros farm retaliation. Run aground these billy-do encrusted minds of tried and true. Thank you so much for allowing me to read my poetry tonight. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening and weekend. Thank you.